other job too, so.
Yeah, so what I will do, I have seen your mail. So first assignment, I was going through it, but I could not finish the first. I'm sorry for that. So probably in a day or two, I will finish it. And I will respond back to you, and then we can take your queries in the class itself. Right?
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. So let me start today with the third module, which is the requirement analysis. Now,
Okay,
starting with,
oh, I'm sorry, go ahead. Third model, okay, go ahead.
because first module was your introduction to business analyst, right? The second module is the, am I audible? Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, you're a little quiet, but I can hear you some.
Okay. And the second module was the SDLC methodologies, which where we covered waterfall and agile. And the third module, now starting from third module, it is your core concept of business analyst, right? Starting with the requirement, what do you mean by requirements, how many type of requirements we have. Basically, this starting from this model, these are the things which we as a business analyst deal with, right? How we take requirements, how we gather, how we analyze requirement, how many types of requirements do we have, how do we specify them, how we differentiate them, right? What is a requirement life cycle? So this basically is the main thing as a VA we deal with, right? From first last two module, I keep on saying we do requirement analysis, we gather requirements. So now we will see what is requirement, how many types of requirement that we have, right, in a project, and how do we specify them, what is the characteristics of requirement, how do you write effective requirements, right? So all that we are going to see in this module. Now let's see first what is requirement. So a requirement is basically a condition or a capability needed by a stakeholder to solve a problem or in order to achieve an objective, right? So when I say requirement, right, what is your need, right? In other way,
But what do they mean by capability? I understand a condition, but what is a capability? What do you mean, or a capability?
When I say capability, it means that whatever the condition or the requirement, right? Basically, for example, if you have some problem, right? If in order to solve that problem, I will have an objective, right? Okay, this is my problem. I should have, I should specify use something where I could get my problem solved, right?
So can you give a real life example of that, please?
Yes. So, for example, when I say I need when I come to you and say, hey, Devi, I need a website to be designed by. I need a website. That does not mean my requirement, right? Why come and say I need to get a website so that users can go and purchase if it's an online shopping or anything online, so that user can go and buy the things online instead of going to shop. So that is a capability I am giving. That is a capability which my requirement has, which I am giving it to the customers to do the online shopping via my website, right?
Okay.
So the problem that I'm trying to solve is, if that is again a business problem which I'm trying to solve. Probably it might be my competitors already have a website, or I might want to do a more profit out of website, because nowadays I would I would allow the user to do online instead of coming to my shop and do all the things, right? So that might be my problem area which I'm trying to solve, right?
But what do you mean by, I still don't know what capability, I'm not grasping that. You got a condition, okay, so a condition is maybe you have an existing website, but maybe it needs modification to improve. For example, Today I was on a website and it was so long to download. It was boring. It's really bad. So maybe
Yeah,
they come to you and they say, okay, we've got this website. Overall, we like it, but we need to increase the speed of the pictures uploading and that sort of thing. So is that the capability? Does that
yeah,
mean that the capability means, okay, this is a new thing that we need that we don't
yes,
have?
correct. So
Okay.
that will be capability of a website which I need if I am the business stakeholder of the website, which you, just a sec, huh? I got a call.
Are you there?
It's a,
Hello?
I just got a call. Give me 1 minute.
Oh my, she has such a rough life.
Yeah, sorry. I got a call from my transport office transport that guy's trying to pick me up right now. So I said no, I'm not going to go right now.
Okay.
So what was the, yeah, so yeah, that is the capability that your system must have. Right now you are facing, let me take this example only. You are getting, what is the current problem you are facing is that it is taking much time to getting download, right? As a result of what, you as a customer feels that okay, probably after that I will not come to this site because it's taking a huge lot of time, right? Now I as a stakeholder, when I'm giving the requirement, I will see whether that my system has a capability to, it should have a capability to increase the download speed, right? So a condition or a capability, if I'm giving a condition or rather a capability of the website, as you say, it should increase the performance rather, right? As you said, it's taking lot of time. That is a capability as a stakeholder I need in order to solve what is the problem. The problem is it is taking a lot of time in order to download a particular software, or if you're or image, whatever you are doing that. So when I say capability, more or less I am thinking from a system point of view, that my system must have, or it might going forward it might have, in order to what is this, satisfy, if you see the second condition, the satisfy the standard or the specification or other formally imposed document, right? So that is what a requirement is. You have any other question, Debbie?
No.
So this is an so a statement. So according to the IIBA is International Institute of Business Analyst, where each and every work we do, we keep ourselves aligned with IIBA, right? So that as per IIBA, it is the requirement is a statement that captures a capability or a condition that is needed to solve a problem or achieve objective. Right? For example, for here in your case, as you said, right, it is taking much time, but it's an existing website. For that, if I am the business stakeholder of that website, I would have given given a requirement stating I would need the system to be more faster, right, in order to download so that which allows the user to download the software in less time and more smoothly, right, instead of going back out of my website. So that is what is the requirement, basically either a capability or a condition I am giving, right? Now now that we know that requirement, right, now next is how we do analysis of the requirement. When we say requirement analysis, now once I give you the requirement, as I said, right? For example, now the website is downloading. If I'm a business stakeholder of the website, where you're downloading, and it's taking time, as a stakeholder, what we would do. As a business analyst, when I'm doing the requirement analysis, I would first start with focusing on what instead of how, right? What is the problem? First, I will start okay. Then, if you are facing a problem, I would go to the user and say, "Hey, Jamie, what is the problem you are seeing? Is there something which you have started seeing it now, or was already there from the beginning, that when you started using this website, right?" So basically, we try to discover the problem. Right? We try to refine the problem. We try to model the problems.
So is that because most of them, they're hiring you, but they still don't know what the problem is?
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. They have a project. It seems like they would know there's a problem, or they wouldn't hire somebody.
Yes, yes. If there is a problem now, because see, everything starts with a problem or a business objective, right? For example, if they are hiring you, they will say, it might be a problem, JB, or it might be a business objective as well, right? When I say objective, problem, when I say problem, it might be a problem that they are not making a profit, right? Making a profit, or they might want to enter a new area which they are not, right? So there might be a problem as well. Problem should be there, right? Because that's why you are starting to do something. And we as a business analyst, we need to understand the problem. If I say, "Hey Devi, I am having issues with my laptop," right? That is my problem, and I need you to fix it. So you can't just directly go and start, "Oh, okay, you have a problem. Let's go to the store and get it replaced." You should come and say, "Okay, Sudhita, you have a problem. What is the problem you are facing?" I would say, "I'm not able to start it on. Did you try these options?" You'll say, you'll give me some 5-10 options, right? From when you have started seeing this problem, are you able to switch on your laptop yesterday? These are the questions you as a business analyst will ask me. Why you are asking me? Because you are trying to understand my problems, right? Because unless and until you understand my problem, how will you give me a solution? Right? Once you see that, you want to understand that, okay, then you will say, "Hey, Sweta, have you done this steps of troubleshooting? Are you able to see any success if we are doing that?" And I will say, "No, Dave, I'm not able to do that, even though I have done these steps." Then you will say, "Okay, press F12 to start the BIOS," or something. You are giving me solution. Then once I am done, then you will say, "Okay." Then finally you will understand, okay, this is the problem. Now once you understand the problem, then you will go around it and try to see what solution you can give me. You will say, "Okay, so Dikta has done this problem, these steps. That means she is not able, even though she has done this step, she is not able to. She might have done something because of which her laptop is not there. She has started her laptop yesterday night, but today she is not able to." Right? These are the various things around the problem that you are trying to see and understand, and then you are going for the solution. If nothing happens, then you will say, "Okay, probably your display or your battery, or there is a problem in your fan because of which you are facing a problem. Let's go to the store and get it replaced." So you have, after analyzing my problem, understanding my problem, what I am having, then you gave me a solution, and that is the final solution which I am going to, your final solution that you are going to give me, right? Then you evaluate what is the problem. Modeling. What do you mean by modeling? We try to visualize the requirement. As in, if you remember, I have sent you some visuals, right? Yeah, that is a way of modeling the requirements. So when you are going for a larger audience, right? For example, when you are going for a requirement analysis or requirement gathering sessions, every time you cannot write or show the users in the text, right? What we do, we model that requirements visually in order to represent it to the, it might be business stakeholder, it might be IT stakeholders, right? We model those requirements in order to represent various aspects, as in what is my business problem, what is I'm trying to solve, how the use case will be, how user is going to interact with my system, right? What are the various activities the user will have with respect to the current system? What is the various data flow that is going to be there in the system? So these are the various aspects which we as a business analyst try to show it to our different stakeholders, right? And then we give a software specification. Okay, so in order to do this, these are the required softwares, or these are the various, for example, when you are trying to do a website, you will specify, okay, the website will run in Firefox browser, Google Chrome browser, or Internet Explorer browser. So that is my software specifications, right? And what are the various functional requirements? So during our requirement analysis, we try to discover the requirement. We try to refine the requirement. We do modeling. We do model the requirements, right? How we do that? First we try to understand the problem. It's just not that we just whatever the requirement that the business is coming and giving the business requirement, we just take it off like that, right?
So is the modeling, I'm sorry, is the modeling when you're doing like in Visio, and you said it's a visual and not the text?
No, when we give the Visio, it's only visual, but how I sent you, right? In the same way, you can either show in the same Visio, you can copy paste in a PPT and show them, hey, this is what I understood the problem. This is how I understood that this is going to be my activity. Please see that. So
but is that what they're calling modeling?
Yeah.
That's what modeling is a Visio.
The thing which we do, we call that as a modeling of the requirements.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, we do it in the Visio, right? But each and every diagram as a whole, there are a lot of modeling techniques that we do. We can do activity diagram, use case diagram, sequence diagram. Rather than we doing it, it's basically the dev team, the development team does that. We do basically use case diagrams, then activity diagram, data flow diagram, process flow, right? These are the various we do, which as a whole as modeling. If somebody come and say, hey Ravi, I need to work with modeling, it's nothing but the way of representation of the various aspects of a requirement visually. That's it. These are those tasks, the major tasks and efforts that we as a business analyst do during requirement analysis sessions, requirement analysis. So these are the various tasks that we do, right? We focus on what instead of how it needs to be done when we do requirement analysis, basically. When I say requirement, what is requirement, why is requirement analysis? Let's see, why do we need requirements, right? When we as a business analyst, where we are measured, right? How good you are business analyst, how you will be measured in your industry. It depends on how you analyze the requirement, how well you are getting the requirement, how better able to state your. So if your right, that is a simple. I'll show you what each requirements after apply. Have not done in the beginning phase, right? The end of the after one testing, you already have with you comes up and say business team and say, hey, this I'm expecting to have captured. We need it, need to implement it in this way. Meeting our business. So what you, if I am, are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Network problem. So what will happen if you do that? You the requirement and you gather this properly and then to go all through this and you deploy what a lot you have to start your cycle. Same time you'll be paying it. If one is that it, and secondly done a requirement. As I said, business might have 100 features, right? When you do analysis, you feel that feature, I don't think is yes,
You're
yes.
saying that if you find out that they have certain features that are not necessary
Mm-hmm.
and you cut those, you're
Yeah,
saying,
that I cannot just directly go and cut it. You can tell the business that why do you want this kind of feature? I don't think this is really realistic to take these features, right? What is the benefit that you are getting out of it? See, as per my analysis, I don't see any benefit going forward in the future. Why do you want that feature to be there? Right, because
okay,
if you want the feature to be there, there is going to be that our IT team, or rather we will be working on this, as a result of which you have to pay as well, right? Because the more we do work, we will bill you accordingly, right? So if I don't see any benefit out of it, I don't see that is a realistic for a project, while we are taking that feature or a requirement in the project.
okay,
So, but when you are saying it, you need to be you need to make sure that the point you are trying to convince should be, you should have a justification for it. I cannot simply say, oh, there are 100 requirements, I don't want to take this 20 requirements, let's take 80 requirements. No, we are not going to do that. We are going to do an analysis of what is going to, we think from an end user perspective, right? We think from a business perspective, okay, if I'm going to go that, I think that where the user will come, and as a result we might have a benefit. When I say benefit, it we might I'm saying in terms of profit. That way we go and try to do analysis, right? Now, again, just a question for you, right? How much more expensive would it be to fix a problem in production versus finding and fixing the same problem in the requirement? Again, that is again related to our requirement. If we have not done the requirement,
to me though, okay, C, which is, seems to me it was using the Agile waterfall method and how much it would cost to redo it. Together, correct?
if it's an agile, yes, after it is completed and the demo to the customer, oh, that's right, that's not correct, do it. That time it things. But if you're in a waterfall model, even it's just a flow to the production and use your system
Mm-hmm.
Probably you can find more problem in a product, go back requirement itself, it might be 40 to 100 because it's a problem you are, when I say problem, it might be from the big came from the design code, right? So I just, but the impact doing the correctly, right? And while doing analysis, ask questions to the people. You are free to ask questions to your business stakeholder as well as the IT stakeholders. What is the problem you are facing? Focus on what. Try to get out as much as information as you can. Right? What is
Mm-hmm.
your problem? What are you trying to make or see? What is your current organization goal? What is your current business problem? What is the
So again, if you could give me a real life example of that, that would make things a lot more clear. So give me an example of something you've done in your career that would be applicable.
yeah, let me show you. See. Um,
I mean, you could just tell me in words. I don't.
yeah. So, say when, for example, in my I work in mobility space, right? When I got first project, it was building a native application, okay, a mobile application basically. Now, when the business came to us, say, need a mobile app to be developed, right? I need a mobile app for my team which they can use for so and so purpose, for example. They want to use that app, they want to see this various manuals, they want to see the problems descriptions, they want to play videos kind of things in my application. Now, before I go and see, ask them what are the features you want. I go and ask them, okay, but why do you want a native application to be built, or why do you want a mobile application to be built? Can't we have a website, desktop website, right? Because I need to know before I say, okay, let's go and build a mobile application because business came to us. No, I should know what is the objective behind, right? Then I went and asked why that you are looking for a mobile application. We can go and simply build a desktop website, right, wherein the user can use the laptops to get to see the website. Or then the business said, no, the problem is we want to give the user flexibility to see from anywhere in the world, wherever he or she is. We give an opportunity to use their smartphone and get the required information. Then I said, okay, fine. So that is the thing. But what is the other business problem that you are trying to solve? Okay, I understand that you want to give a user the flexibility to see and find the information from anywhere in the world using the smartphone. Then they came and say, we already have a website, right? But the current problem is when the user want the information anywhere outside his workplace, he is not able to find, right? And as a result, it is giving us, it is causing a delay wherein the customers are not satisfied properly, right? And then they said our competitors, the third business problem, our competitors has already a mobile apps, right, which they are allowing their user to use that, and as a result of which my profit is little bit going down. So here you see, I got three business objectives, right? The
I'm a
problem,
little lost. I'm sorry. You're saying their customer had 100 laptops that they were using, or like, because first I thought you were saying that they wanted something that would work anywhere in the world on their smartphone, and then somehow I got lost where you're talking about they have 100 of the other.
no, they are not 100 of the others. They say, I said, they have the website already. They have similar website which they can use it in the laptops, but they don't want that again too, because if
Yeah.
when the user is going, when I'm staying from this users from an end user perspective as well, and the users is the business users. For example, if I am the user which is basically goes to the customer on-site customer place, and if you have any issues with your laptop or any system, they go and troubleshoot. So basically take the example of an electrician or something, a plumber comes to your house and do and fix the problem, right? So when they fix a problem, they will ask you, hey ma'am, please sign it. I have done your work and this is what I have done. This is what I have done. Please sign it to me. Right? And if it any parts that needs to be replaced, what they do, they simply come and say, we need this part to be replaced. Let me call up in my service center and let me request for the part. Once the part is ready, I will come again tomorrow and I will fix it for you, right? But when I'm giving a call, at the same time I'm giving a call to my service center, it is the customer actually is waiting for more than half an hour, because you are placing a request in the service center, placing a request for parts to be dispatched to the customer, right? Why can't I do instead of making a call from my smartphone and make a request, right? The plumber or the electrician or a technician who has come to your place, if he uses his phone, okay, ma'am, I need to replace the parts. Let me order from my phone itself right now, right? This is done in 5 minutes. Okay, I have placed a request. Once I get the parts to be dispatched, I will come and I will fix it to you.
Okay.
So that is the business case that they have tried. In a way, what the business case will be from here in my case will be, I'm reducing a call to the service center, right? If, for example, for any issue you fix, we give a call to the service center people, right? Saying, hey, I am having issue with my laptop, I am having issue with my system, I am having issue with this and that, right? So I am reducing a call, right? At the same time, what I'm doing, I'm reducing the waiting time for the customers, because when a agent or a technician is giving a call, it might take 5 minutes, it might take half an hour, based on the agents who are free to take your call. They will enter the data, they will place a request, right? Why you want your customer to wait half an hour? Instead, if I give an ability to the technician who can place the request just like that from the customer side itself, where he has all the data with him, right? So that is basically the business case for my project. So that's why they want a mobile website, mobile website or mobile application rather, right? So when I came to know all these things because I asked them, okay, what is the current process that you are currently following? Because I need to know the existing process before I give them a solution, right? Then my business explained, okay, this is currently they are giving a call. When they are giving a call, you have to wait. I don't want my customer to wait for some times, right? These are basically what I told I came to know when I asked the questions to them. What is the current process you are following? What is that you want to make that mobile application? Then once I get all these answers, then I will come to the features. What are the features that you want in the mobile application? Right? Once I get the features, then I will say, okay, what are the platforms that you want your mobile application to be supported, right? Because right now we in the market, I have Windows, I have iPhone, I have Android operating system, I have BlackBerry. What are the mobile app platforms that you want your mobile application to be supported, right?
Okay.
Then my business said, no, I want it for Windows, iPhone, and Android, right?
Okay.
Then how many users we are going to be using these applications? How many users you have? How many technicians do you have with you, right? That they are going to use it. So this way you have to drill down to the drill down to your requirements. Because I don't want to directly go to the requirements, and once I get an answer, okay, this is my business case, this is my business problem that they are trying to solve, this is the application needs to be supported in this 3 platform, this is my user base. Okay, fine, now let's go to the requirements. Now let's look at the features thoroughly. Then we will sit and we'll do gathering. And for even each feature, I will ask, okay, do you really want this feature? Why do you think that we should have? Why you have added this feature? Do you, is there something that currently users are using, or you want to add it as a new feature, right? So that way you get, now after that you get down to your requirements. So you will have any question, Devi?
No.
So
Yeah, I mean, I've got to, think about, when you're saying all this, it takes time to marinate in my mind and, think about it all.
I understand. Yeah, next time, but yeah, even that's what, right? We start. I think once we do, by the time we go to the sessions, I think you'll be clear, right? How we do analysis process and what are the questions that it's nothing that we do much. It's all about asking the right question to your business stakeholders or IT stakeholders.
Yes.
Right? That is the main thing that we should have. It's not, you should not ask the same question again and again. At the same time, you should ask the right questions, right? Till you think that you are satisfied with your answers, right? Because I am the person who will be responsible for the solution which is going to be developed. I am the person whom I should have a clarification of the business requirements, because the IT stakeholder will come to me and I will be responsible for the requirements, right? So you should not leave unless and until you are satisfied or you are clear with your understanding. Okay, I got it. Let's move to next one. Okay, I'm clear with it. Let's move to the next one, right? Because when you are doing the requirement phase, you can ask question again and again. Once you say that, okay, I'm fine with my requirements, and you move to the next phase, and then once you come back to the business and asking the same question, that really don't make a good impression on you, right?
Right.
So that's what. At the same time, we as a business analyst needs to be very, what you say, I'm giving a tip from my experience, because we have to deal with different stakeholders, right? We need to manage them as well. I can't be very harsh to any one of them, and I cannot be too soft to any one of them, right? But at the same time, I need to have a good rapport with each and every stakeholders, right? Because I need to get my work done at the end of the day, right? Either from my business stakeholder or from my IT stakeholder. So always maintain a good relationship with all your stakeholders.
Do you start out by going in there and say, like good morning or whatever, I want to be respectful of your time, but it's necessary for me to ask you questions so I have a full comprehension of what your needs and desires are? Did you kind of start out like that when you walk into their office? And then
no, not really. Yes, I do wish, okay, good morning, good evening. So I start off with, okay, how are you doing? How's our day expert? So that's like the formal conversation that you should have. And then we start off with our sessions, because when it's a requirement analysis, even your business stakeholders are aware of that, okay, you as a business analyst will come to them and ask questions, right? And when you have set up some time with them, that means it's not that you are taking the time, it is your job that you are doing, and it's their also job which they has to provide you information, right? So it's nothing that you are taking your time or you are taking their time. They should give their time also to you if they want a good solution to be developed, right? So you can start with wishing them a good morning or a good evening based on your time, and then you can start a little bit formal discussion. Hey, how are your day going on? How it is for, okay, just a formal conversation. Then you can start off with your work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't take much of that time just for a formal conversation, right?
Right.
So I have to finish within my time that I have my objective, right? Because before you go into the meeting, you have in your mind what is the agenda for you today, right? I need this many. If there are 10 requirements, I need to understand at least 3 today, right?
Well, what I don't understand is if you go in there and you have a general set of questions,
Yes.
if you're writing down what the response is, why would, earlier you mentioned, if you ask them the question more than once, it makes you it looks poorly on you. If you have written down everything said, why would you ever go back and repeat the same questions? That's what I'm not understanding.
It happens, Devi, because when I'm just interacting with you, you feel okay. Because when you interact with, say for example, 5 business users, you think, okay, I have asked this question, but at the same time, when you are trying to communicate the same requirements to IT, they might have come with a common question, and you thought, oh, I think I have missed it. Let me go back and ask the question tomorrow again. What will happen if this requirement is not met, or anything related to the requirement? It happens because I'm not sure how many projects that you will be dealing with, right? At simultaneously, it's more than one. At least for me, in my initial days when I have started, I went back and asked, okay, hi, can you please give me a brief of this? Actually, I need to document it. Okay, what is the need for this feature? Why they are going to use that? Can't they use this thing instead of that? Again, tomorrow, when I trying to jot down, and when I am thinking from my perspective, again I had the same query, and I went back again. When that happened in my initial list, not now, but it happened to me, right?
Right, early in your career. But
Yes.
but so it sounds to me like the more well prepared a person is,
Yes.
with preparing the right questions. And of course, a person will get better as they go on. But if I'm going to try to, act like I've been doing this for a couple of years, I need to get a jump start, like on some of the mistakes that you slowly learned. I just want to know, what kind of questions. I saw they had some book, and I'm not going to buy it, but they had like 700 questions that you should ask. And it's like, I don't think so. That's too many. Anyway.
In theoretical, there might be a number of things people say, but what as per my experience, Debbie, I'm so sorry. It all depends on your project, and it depends on how you. It's neither a theoretical, or I just give you, hey Debbie, you need to ask 10 questions. No, it never happens.
Right.
It always how you at that point of time, right? When you are dealing with, it's not easy that how you deal with me and you are talking is different. When at the same time JB is talking to 5% in front of them, as a business, it's different, right? So,
Right.
So what I think, be prepared. What I learned, JB, I think it's better if you, before entering the meeting, have your agenda, or you jot down some of your question in some of your sticky notes or a notepad, right? And get it clarified there and jot it down, so that you, after once the meeting is done, you can go over through it and say, oh, okay, I have asked this question, I'm good with that. So what I do now, yes, when you start your career or when you start a new role, obviously there will be hiccups. So it happened to me as well. But gradually I learned, and now today, whenever we go to the requirement analysis or any sessions with the business, what I do at my own, I jot down my questions, which I need to ask business, right? Because what happens is when you go to the discussions, different people will have their own opinion and we keep on discussing. So sometimes we keep on discussing from one question and we go to the other areas as well, right? And in that span of time, I should not miss my question as well. So what I do, I jot down the points, or I write the points which I need to discuss with the business. Or not only business, if it's IT stakeholder, I note down the points before I enter into the meeting. So that's in the preparation for me, right? I prepare myself. Okay, these are the things I have to ask. These are the things that I have to finish. These are the things that I have to show it to them, right?
Correct.
So which I learned gradually, and now I'm doing that pretty comfortably, right? But when I started initially with this role, yes, I did have hiccups and that mistakes, as I told you, right? That I did also. So, but anyway, I learned it, so that's good. That's good enough. Requirement analysis process, as I said, just to give you understanding of the application domain, right? So when I say application domain, if you are building a website, you should know, okay, how what is that application you, if say for example.
So the domain is just a website, correct?
That depends. When I say it's a mobile application, I should know, okay, mobile application, what are the areas, what do you mean by mobile application? That thing I should have an understanding of that application domain. When I say a simple website, which you can do it in the laptop, what is website basically, how it looks like. I would go to some other, for example, I will go to some google.com and say, okay, this is a website. Okay, that means to run a website I need an internet access, right? In order to run a website, I need to have a browser. So these are the various things that we should have a knowledge on. For example, when I have to work on a native application, I should know, okay, what is native app means? That means a native app is something that we download from the store, right? What we have to download, we have to install in the application. It will vary from one platform to another platform. These are the various platforms that the mobile application should have. So this is basically the understanding of that application domain.
Okay.
So interaction with customer users to discover the requirements. In some cases, it might need it that you need to work with your business users. As I give you an example of the native application that I was working with, there might be in some cases where I need to reach out to the technician and ask them, hey, how you are doing this in the current existing application, how you are taking a call, or how you are giving a call to the tech support or the service center in order to replace a part, right? In order to know my requirements rather. Classification of the requirements, right? How many requirements? We have various types of requirements. How to classify them? So that is again a classification of requirements. Identify requirements as per business priority. Right now, if business comes up with 100 requirements or 50 requirements or 20 requirements, we will ask to business, okay, I think from your business perspective, these are the requirements which is in priority. Then we'll sit with the business and identify which are the most important requirements that I should have in my project, right? Then we have validation of requirements. We'll see whether we have captured it correctly, whether my requirements are complete, whether I have to get it reviewed by my business stakeholders and the different stakeholders, so that we do the validation of requirements. So this is basically the process that we follow in requirement analysis process.
And the validation is when they actually sign off on it, saying, yes, this is correct, okay.
And that is the final stage when you go for a sign-off. First, once we write down the requirements, we also see, okay, there are these many requirements I have describe the requirements. I think I just complete. Let's go to the stakeholders. Let's get them reviewed. there will be a multiple review session because they will give you review comments. You have to incorporate that comments. You have to update the requirements after the discussion. And once everything is done and once you see there is no review comments, everyone is good with what you have documented, then we go for a sign-off. Then we'll see what other types of requirements, right? Business requirements, yes. Now we will come to see what are the requirements, different types of requirements. We have business requirements. These are high-level statements of the goal, objective, or need of the enterprise, right? As I say, when I go for a mobile application, they say, as I gave you the 3 objectives, right? I need my I want my users to see or access that application from anywhere of the world from the smartphone. That is a high-level business requirement, right? And why do I need that? In order to have a greater good customer satisfaction, right? That's if I have a good customer satisfaction, then only my customers going to come back to my organization or my service organizations, right? So these are very high level statements of the basically which describe your business needs, right? Now describe the reason why a project is initiated, right? If you see that why my project, why the need of mobile application arises, right? Why they want a mobile application? Because they have their business requirement wherein they want the users to use the application from the customer side itself. Then describe what project should achieve and metrics for measuring the success, right? What my project should have and how do I measure my success. So all these are the business requirement, right? High level business requirements. So let me give you an example of business requirement. If you can see my screen, function requirement.
Yeah, and I see if it needs to track its field employees by means of employee tracking system, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
So when I say a business requirement, so from a company's point of view, how they will give you and say, hey, implement a web and a mobile-based employee tracking system that tracks the field employees and improves efficiency by means of monitoring the employee activity and productivity. So for this, just I have taken a random example just to show you, right?
Yes.
It's a business, if you study the requirement, it stated everything. First, what project want to achieve, right? I want a website and a web and a mobile-based tracking system. Why do you want that? Because they want it to track the field employees, right? And what is the final object? What is the final success metrics? And my objective behind that requirement is to increase the efficiency by monitoring the employee activity and productivity, right? It's a high-level business requirement, purely from the business requirement, which says, why do I, in a single sentence, it says, why do I need to implement a web and a mobile-based employee system, tracking system, right? I need in order to track an employee. And why do you need that? So that I need to increase the efficiency, right? So what is the project finally going to achieve? It increases, if I increase the efficiency, my productivity will be more, and at the end of the day, I need a web and mobile employee tracking system, right? So basically, more from a, when I say business requirement, it's more, you will be saying that, right? Or they will be defining that. There are various requirements which we'll go and see. So it's a high-level statements of the goal, objective, or needs of the enterprise.
So who's the person that decides what the metrics are going to be for measuring success? Is that you?
It will be me as well as the business stakeholder. Sometimes they will directly give you that this is my what you say, measuring success. For example, if I say this thing, they might give me the success metric and say, hey, I want to implement a web and I want to increase my efficiency by 25%. Currently it is 5%. I need to see my efficiency going up by 25%. So for me or for them, when I see a requirement, the main objective or after I have implemented or have done with the project, we will go and see that if we will monitor and see, okay, my efficiency or the productivity has increased by 25%. If I can achieve that, that is a success. That is basically the metrics for my success.
So will you later on share how you measure to see that it went up 25%?
Yes, either it will be you, we as a business analyst who will be doing that. We will.
But I'm saying, is there a formula or how do you do that?
Not formula every time. It might be analytics based on how you do that, right? If it's a website, you will see how many number of hits it has done, how much the user has used it, how many call that you have done, how many calls it might reduced. It's not the every time a formula that I'm going to do that, right? It might be user analytics or the reporting stuff that we need to do and see, okay, let me see how many numbers of hits that my website has got, how many number of download that my my user has downloaded the software compared to previous year and this year after we have done a new website, right? So there are various factors are based on how we see the measuring success. It's not a every time a formula that we are going to see, right? Yeah, so next, see, now let's see what is, sorry, what happened?
Which of the following is a business requirement? Wait a minute, wait. Oh.
Sorry. Sorry, yeah.
Okay, okay. A, when a user leaves the... New memberships during the early bird period. Couldn't all of those be business requirements? They're high level?
Are you sure? All of them?
Well, a high level, our company wants to increase its renewable energy by 25%. I would say would be high level.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to handle 500 customers, I would think would be high level. Maybe, I don't know, I guess maybe reminding someone after 3 hours, maybe that's not the high level, maybe that's more details for later.
Correct.
And then receiving a 10% discount for early bird users, I guess that wouldn't be on the high level. That would be more down deeper.
Correct. What you have said, Devi, about A and C is correct. B, it is we call it as a business requirement. It will be more formal. We group it on the non-functional requirement, wherein we are trying to give a requirement on the performance of the system. That means my system should be efficient enough to handle 500 concurrent users. So that's a specific requirement which I am giving. That is a capability of my system which should have. So we call it as a performance requirement, right?
Oh, so that's B is the only one that's a business requirement?
D is the one which is basically the business requirement out of all these four. As you said, A, yes, it is more detailed, right? We call it the system requirements, right? Or a functional requirement, because if you see, it is saying more from a system point of view, right? It is thinking from a more system. When the user leaves, the system shall send an email, right? That is more detailed and go down the line, right?
Okay.
also a system requirement, but this is not, if you see here, this is system requirement. This is system, but it will come under the non-function requirement and grouped, and we will put it under the performance requirement. That means if 500 or more than 500 users are logged in at the same time to my website should not crash down, right? My website should not go down. Yeah.
So you're saying because that's a system requirement, that wouldn't be a business requirement?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Business requirement more from a business point of view, right? I want to allow the users to have this thing. Users to have a login frame. That's how business requirement comes, right?
Okay.
See, customer requirement, it's more from a marketing point of view where I'm trying to market for my organization and all, right? D, yes, this is a business because my company needs to increase its use of renewable energy by 25%. So that is where you see it's from a more enterprise level or more from business objective that they are having, that company, right?
Okay.
So that's how the business requirements are coming down, right?
Okay.
So you have now a little bit of idea of how the business requirements comes and how we made it to the system requirements.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it is. Moving next is the user requirement. These are the statements of the need of a particular class of stakeholder. This describes the needs that a given stakeholder has and how will interact with the solution. Now, user requirement. We will be thinking from a user perspective, right? Now, this basically deals with how your UI will look like. How will user go to the website? When I say website, how my login screen will look like, how I as a user interact with that website, how I will search the product, or how I will go and navigate from each page to the other. These are the various user, we take them under user requirements, right? So basically under this requirements, we will mostly the required wireframes or the UI prototypes, we put it under user requirements, user interface basically. Now we come under the system requirements, which we grouped under functional requirement and non-functional requirements. Functional requirement was thing that we should have is function requirement, a behavior or a capability that the solution must provide, right? Function requirement, who have built this requirements or who developed this requirement, it's our development team who will be working on the functional requirements, and the testing team will be testing this function requirement. A testing team cannot go and test the business requirement, right? So when we get a business requirement, we break them into system requirements and we give it to the development team, the IT team, and the various stakeholders in the IT team, wherein the development team will be building this function requirement and the testing team will be testing these requirements, right? If I cannot go and tell the IT team saying that, hey, my company wants my, I cannot give this requirements, requirement number D, to the IT stakeholders, right? How will they do it? How will they implement it, right? I have to make, I have to break this business requirement into my system requirements, which they are going to develop it. When I will go and go back to them and say, I need a system. The system will shall send an email reminder to the users after 3 hours. They will be implementing this requirements when I will be breaking the system requirements, right? So this is going to be my functional requirement. Non-functional requirement, the characteristics that a system must exhibit or constraint it must respect. This is going to be my non-functional requirement. This is the capability should or behavior, or this is something the characteristics my system should have. My system should be able to handle this many number of users, concurrent users, right? That is a capability or a characteristics of my system, right? This also we will give it to our IT stakeholders. So these are the functional and non-functional requirements. Now we will see what are the assumptions and constraints. Now, what is assumption? What do you mean by assumptions and what do you mean by constraint? Assumption that once we start what is a project, we identify some conditions which we take it under assumption as true, right? For example, when I have a business requirement to implement a website, I will take as an assumptions for my project that the end users who will be using the website should have an internet access, right? That is an assumption because I know I will take we move forward taking some condition as true, right? Unless right? So we go ahead. I cannot go with the project. Oh, what will happen if my internet is not there? So that is an assumptions that we go take and move ahead with the project. Constraint, something which is an obstacle for me, right? It might be from a technology point of view. For example, constraint for the same thing is for my project will be if internet is not there, then my they cannot use the website. Or in more we get the constraint more in terms of technology side. Say for example, if I go and say I need a feature to upload a file or an image from my system into the website. If my technology does not allow me, the technology which I have taken does not allow it to do that, then it becomes a constraint for my project. Right? So we even apart from the requirements, we should take this also into our consideration. What is the assumption and what are the constraints for my project? Right? Which directly or directly might affect some functionality in my project, right? So these are the various types of requirement, assumptions and constraint. You have any question, Debbie?
No, ma'am.
So probably we should stop now today because I have to run now.
I just hope you get some rest. I feel bad even asking you to do this today because I think you're still like, not doing very well, and I kind of feel bad.
No problem.
Okay, please get some rest.
Yeah, sure. And David, give me a day or two time. I will review your documents and I will get back to you. Probably in one of the classes we can sit and we will clarify your queries, right?
Yeah, just put in a different color so it's real clear whatever mistakes I made that you changed. So, all right. I found a couple of them today, and I was, going over it and making corrections and anyway on it. But okay, well, thank you, and you have a good day.
You too.
Stay safe.
Yeah, you too. I think it's night for you, right?
Yes.
Okay, probably go and have a